volunteer orientation. We'd like to get started. I know everybody's so busy, so we have a lot to cover. I just want to make sure that everybody's gotten these printed materials that we have for you. Please sign in and help yourself to coffee and some other treats. So I'm very happy you're here for spring this year. We are going to be investigating ancient Greek pottery. And what we've tried to do over the years in Art Appreciation is to organize projects for the children that we feel give them a wide range of exposure to different periods of art, different kinds of artists, and also different kinds of materials to work with. So, for instance, last year we had Alfred Stieglitz with the charcoal and the viewfinder. We also had Syrah in the spring for pointillism. This past fall, we had Stuart Davis with paint and collage. And again, this spring, we're going to be working with clay. If you'll take a look at this introductory document, which is the first one up on the table, this is really for you to review. It gives you the overview of the entire project and really why we're setting out to study Greek pottery. We're really excited about it. We're thinking that because ancient Greek civilization is so foundational to everything we know, how we think, our politics, philosophy, art, architecture, it's a vast subject. There are libraries full of scholarly works. I've tried to condense it to this couple of pages, which of course is an absurd exercise, but it's a refresher, as it were. So what we're trying to do is find a way in, as it were, to this vast pursuit of understanding ancient Greek culture. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to be giving this introduction, and then we have Alice and Jill and Amy, who you all know, will be going over the actual procedure. So as with all of our projects, it's usually divided into two parts. One part is where we talk to the children about the subject, and we have posters to show them. There's a collection of posters, so these are the kinds of images we'll be showing the children and talking about. And then the second part will actually be working with clay with the children, and they'll be producing little pots like this. So at the end of the discussion today, I'll be doing a little demonstration, and I hope you stay. So I just want to again talk about why we're doing Greek pottery and what sort of talking points, sort of the attitude I think we can take when talking about Greek pottery. At the bottom of the first page, you'll see that there are talking points. And I think there's a way in for us because every child knows at least one Greek word, and that's the alphabet. And we can tell them that our very alphabet is based on the ancient Greek invention, alpha being the first vowel, and beta being the first consonant of the Greek alphabet. And there are a number of other subjects we can just talk to them about. Heroes, which is also a Greek word, natural science and natural philosophy. Philosophy is a Greek word. Athletics, the very idea of cooperative but competitive games is an ancient Greek concept. And we can talk about how in London this summer, the Olympics are going to be held. So, almost 3,000 years ago, this tradition is continued. Most of our children are involved in Sunway and music. Our basic notation for the scale is a Greek invention. We can attach that to ancient Greek culture. And we can also say that our environment, our built environment, architecture, we see it everywhere we go, the influence of Greek architecture and the elements that they developed. We'll be going through each of these images, so I'm not going to go into that right now. But I do want to say quickly that we're very lucky to have so many resources right here. It's not remote. We can do a lot of things with our children besides just this project. Of course, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, I mean, it's just such a treasure house of wonderful, wonderful things. And they have, not only do they have the actual exhibits to see, but they also have this very nice guide. I don't know if you've seen this before, but it takes you through the Greco-Roman galleries at the Met, and this you can just get when you go visit. Excuse me. I would say that hopefully after the kids see this, they might have some interest in actually going there. I think it's thrilling. The four of us went, and we were just so excited. There's so much to learn when you really look, and I think part of what we're trying to teach these kids, especially the older kids, is how do you really look at things, and if they have this background, they'll be able to get a lot back from it. It turns out that the New Rochelle High School is doing an exhibition on ancient Greece too. That's here.
It says they're going Greek.
They are going Greek, that's what they said. So Amy and Jill have been talking to the librarians here at Chatsworth School and also at the public library. I believe that our librarian is going to be setting aside books that have to do with this subject. Similarly, at the children's library at the Larchmont Library. Plus, they're going to be developing a list of books for us. We're going to be posting that on our website. And we've also been talking to both Anderson's Bookshop and the Voracious Reader, who have both agreed to highlight Greek-themed books. I didn't mention this yet. I spoke with Jenny, who is the manager of Anderson's bookstore, and she's even going to do a window for us. So that's going to be really great. And it just so happens that next Friday, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, this author, George O'Connor, who is a writer, illustrator, is going to be talking at the Voracious Reader, and he's coming out with a 12-part series on books about the ancient Greek gods. So
here's one of the books. This is at the Voracious Reader. They have all the different ones
right.
but
I think
it's a
4 have
graphic
been
novel.
written, yeah.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, and so it can make it so much more attainable because they're very challenging stories. But this is already at Voracious Reader, but that's who's coming to visit.
Right. So there's we're trying to move out a little bit into our community, and so everywhere you go, there's going to be something about ancient Greece, and I think that'll help reinforce it for the children. It's not just in their classrooms; it'll be in the school, it'll be in the library, it'll be out in the community. We're taking over. So what I'd like to recommend is that the second page is a very condensed bit of information about Greek pottery, Greek art, and its influences, which I really recommend you read. It's only 2 pages. It's really only a page and a half. I think if you go over this, it's a refresher for all of our Ancient History 101 classes that we took, some of us a long time ago. I think, the more that we know going into the classroom, the more comfortable we'll feel with the material. I do think that this particular project takes a little bit more preparation from our point of view, but I think it's well worth it. And hopefully the kids who already have some information, especially the older kids with the Percy Jackson books, will be better able to answer their questions and guide their, guide their interest. So I'm going to hand this over now to Allison, who is going to go through the actual series of images we've prepared and continue on. Thank you.
How is all of this going to be communicated to the families beforehand about the bookstore and the?
That's
like
the
some
next
of us,
piece.
Okay,
Yes,
sorry.
it's coming right now. Okay, so before we get into the bookstores, I'm just going to quickly, I know a lot of you have already done this, go over the general procedures of how this works. In fact, how many of you actually did this either last semester or Most of you, okay, all of you, actually, but just so quickly, again, hopefully you guys have good classroom group